Top three things I need in a relationship. Let's see. Trust, communication, security. You know what I mean? And I don't mean security in myself. Security in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, you notice I did not say love because I feel that love is what all those three equal. You know, and it's, in love you'll get like when I say in love, when you do love, you know, because you know love is action. When you do love, you trust, you communicate, and you give security. Love gives security. When you have love in yourself, when you have self-love, it feels those insecurities. You know what I'm saying? And like it just works. It just works better. I think I feel that relationships work better. I know what it means to work bad in a relationship. I'm a fucking expert at that shit. You know, I'm novice when it comes to healthy relationships, and I think maybe the people that I was involved with where they felt that, you know, probably were the same way. We just didn't know how to love, you know what I'm saying, like each other. But I want to say that to me, top three things in a relationship are trust, communication, and security. You have to be able to trust the individual that you're with. Otherwise, you're always going to be watching your back, which then therefore means it's no longer a relationship. You know what I'm saying? You have to communicate with that individual about your needs, about your wants, about the things that you want to do. Maybe you might even find, because everybody's growing. Sometimes we're growing together, sometimes we're growing apart. But if we don't communicate, we're not going to know where we're going. You know what I mean? So it's just like to know what another person feels, and you don't assume. That is one thing that you don't want to do in any type of relationship. You don't want to assume shit. Direct communication. Talk to your partner and figure out, you know what I'm saying, exactly what they want. You know what I mean? And as far as like out of love, out of the relationship, you know what I'm saying? I feel like things probably work better that way. And security is like just being in tune with that individual, and I believe that's what the trust and the communication all lead towards. I think trust and communication therefore give you security. I think trust, communication, and security therefore give you love. You know what I'm saying? Like a sense of love, like a healthy love. Honestly, I don't know if like I said, man, I don't know if I've ever been in a healthy relationship, and you know what I mean. And that's no knock on the women I've been with. If anything, it might be very well maybe a knock on me, and it's just something that you know, you just have to be aware of yourself. Again, nobody teaches you this shit. You just kind of figure shit out based off what you see. You know what I'm saying? What you saw growing up, and you mimic what you see. So it's like, all right, this must be right because they did it, you know, or you saw somebody do it, you saw your parents do it, you saw your uncles, your aunts, your grandparents, whoever, you know what I'm saying, your older brother, your big, you know what I'm saying, your big sister, you saw them do these things, so this has to be right. But you don't take the time to realize whether it was healthy, was it beneficial for that individual's mental health to do what they did. But I mean, these are things that you learn. But all in all, that's the top three things I believe that you need what I need in a relationship. Top three things I need in a relationship is trust, communication, and security. The rest will even the shit out. Okay, let me sit up for this one. All right, so how does one deal with shame and guilt? Hide, really. Ultimately, at first, when you don't know how to deal with those feelings, you hide like a motherfucker. And you hide behind your ego, you hide behind pain, you hide behind addiction, you hide behind anything that moves away from the shit, you know what I'm saying? And my life, most of my adult life, I've lived with shame. You know what I'm saying? Shame wasn't like I said, I didn't make like the best decisions, and I let things just haunt me for a very long time, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I felt like, you know what I'm saying, because of shame and guilt. You know, shame. What is it? Ayala, the one with the Fix My Life show or whatever. She says that shame is when you don't like who you are, and guilt is when you don't like what you've done. You know what I'm saying? And and for me, it's a combination of everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like a domino effect, trying to map my way through life, figuring out, okay, what's the next best move? Should you have done that? You know what I'm saying? Overthinking shit, trying to blend in with people, trying to cover up shit you felt like you've done, not facing it. And you know, that shame and that guilt, it just keeps building. It keeps building. And the more you keep putting on that social mask, trying to be something that you're not, and just like trying to cover up who you really are, it eats at you. And I feel that's where depression and anxiety thrive. You know what I mean? So it's really coming to grips that you're not in control. You're not perfect. You do make mistakes, and it's okay to be you. And the more I live, the more I learn, the more I understand what it takes to just deal with the shit. And everybody got their own. If I'm trying so hard to be perfect, then I'm definitely not trying to be like everybody else, because everybody else make mistakes. They're entitled to make mistakes too. And I'm not special. I make mistakes, and I made mistakes, and I've been paying. I hadn't forgiven myself for those mistakes that I felt like I made. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just at a point in my life where I'm recognizing these things. I'm recognizing these patterns that I put my brain into, and these negative thought patterns. And it's like, you know, hating yourself, not wanting to be here anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it just hurts, it just eats at you. And you just feel like, you know, you didn't love yourself. And you had to be perfect. And if you weren't perfect, then you're nothing, type thing. And you know, and that builds more shame, more guilt to add to the shame, you know. So now, being able to look back at my life, decisions that were made that probably wasn't the best for me at that given time. I wouldn't be who I am right now. I would not know what I know. I would not have the lessons if I had not gone through that shit. So, you know, it's just, how do you deal with the shame and the guilt? You face the shit. You let go of perfectionism. You realize that you are enough. You try to you work on being better every day. Every day of your life, work on doing something that scares you, and you work on just being a better person, you know, to the best of your ability. That's how you do it. Don't turn to your vice of, you know, the alcohol, sex, drugs, whatever it is, you know, that you do to take your mind, off of just what's important, what needs to be handled at that given moment. So, I mean, hopefully that answers the question. Like, how does one deal with shame and guilt? You recognize it, you address it, you face it, and then you got to move the fuck on somehow, some way. What's it like living with porn addiction? It distorts your view of reality, to be honest with you. Just everything, you know, you get into a routine, and the more research I do on porn addiction, the more wild shit that I recognize that I was dealing with mentally, that was taking shape. Like when you're like, you know, under porn addiction, and you tend to, you go back in time mentally, really. Like you go back as a child, like it almost reverts your mind back to like a childlike mind. You know what I'm saying? So that's where shame, again, you got a childhood like me, you know what I mean? It's like you dealt with a lot of shame and guilt, so you just dealt with that's pretty much what you did. You know what I'm saying? You went back in time and it was all about like how it was when you were just this little kid, like ashamed of some things that you had done. You know, like bad things you had did, and you never really got over it, and you just kind of like repeated, like it just keeps that cycle of thoughts just keep running through your mind. You know what I mean? And with porn addiction, man, it's like after a certain amount of time, your brain is so used to like doing this at a certain time. Now, commonly, most people are. I mean, there's some people that can watch porn all day. You know what I mean? I'm not. I wasn't one of those people. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a certain time of the day, depending on what I work. If I got off like a mid shift or some shit like that, and it was like I became dependent on it to go to sleep. So, get off of work 7 or 8 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I'm jerking shit until I don't fucking know, maybe 11, sometimes 12. It's just like and the reason why you do that is because of the dopamine. And the more you watch porn, the more dopamine your brain expects, and you create like a level of tolerance for it. So what that means is you have to watch more and more of it to get that, you know what I'm saying, that feeling that you're aiming for. And that's really all it is, you know what I'm saying? Like even porn addiction to drugs, any form of drug, you know what I'm saying? Porn addiction can be a form of drug. Now, the reason why porn addiction porn is an addiction for me is more so because like I was running away from my problems I was doing it to run away from my problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with watching porn. It really depends on the individual. Now, I was running away from responsibility. I was running away from fears. I was running away from anything that went outside of the fixed mindset. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like, I already just felt like I wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? And this is what you tell yourself. Your brain fucking lies to you. So, but like with the porn, you know, with life with porn addiction, you become, I was a high functional junkie. Yeah, roughly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say I don't watch porn anymore by any means. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, I don't watch it as frequently because I understand like the level of dopamine that it gives, and that it comes with headaches for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know about anybody else, but the addiction comes with major fucking headaches, and it's like that dopamine kick, like you can just feel that shit. And you know, you learn from it. Like you can continue to educate yourself on the effects of porn. Like I was in a relationship, in a few relationships when I was still dealing with this shit, but one girlfriend in particular, roughly just called me out on my shit. You know what I'm saying? And just she wanted to know more about it. She saw that I was watching this series by Terry Crews talking about his porn addiction, and you know, she could feel the effects from it because I couldn't. At some point in times where I just wasn't stimulated by her anymore. You know what I mean? Like I had to see like these voluptuous figures in order to even get an arousal in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So I guess you could consider that erectile dysfunction. Either that, I just wasn't turned on by her. Yeah, however you want to look at it, but it got that bad. Yeah, it's really bad, and then I've started looking at women as like objects. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's like when you grow up around certain folks, man, it kind of teaches you that shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like you bag as many girls as you can, type shit. But these are things you learn. You know what I'm saying? You don't always do everything the right way. You got to learn how to treat people. And as I mentioned before in previous question that was asked, and I was talking about my therapist, and he asked me, do I feel like do you like respect women? And the quick answer is yes. The long answer was no, because I didn't think about what he meant by that. You know what I mean? So I had to give things some thought as far as like what it means to take into account how this person may feel for you. and what you and how you tend to be. I mean, you're not perfect by any fucking means. You know what I'm saying? I'm human, and definitely, like, again, the addiction was taking over because it was just like with how I carry myself, like with women. It was just, I mean, it's part, you want to have an abundance mindset, but at the same time, it was just like, I could just do what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And it isn't always good. It's not, again, it's nothing personal, but this is just something that you learn from just being involved with, with porn, and seeing how it changes your effects. You're not able to engage in a real relationship. And I desired, I really do. I desired, like, to be in a healthy relationship with with a woman. And and I at one point in time, I honestly thought, like, even after dealing with that individual, I knew how I fucked up with the situation as far as my part, and just not speaking up, and just being very beta about shit, and not being straightforward, not using direct communication, all of that. But the porn addiction, roughly, is like, it kind of took control of that relationship. So the next one, I was so hell bent on just being, like, perfect, and that's where I fucked up. Because when you aim for perfection, you're bound to fail. And when things didn't go my way in this relationship now, I decided that I was going to go back to my vice, because it was like, I'm not getting what I want. Let me go back to being that fucking, that junkie. And same shit, same cycle. You know what I mean? And the common denominator was me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just about looking at yourself. So, I mean, life would, life would be like porn addiction. It ain't always the best. I'll say that, but there's hope, because you have to master it. You know what I'm saying? Once you get your mind, once you control your mind, you can do whatever you want to do. And I mean, I sincerely hope that this information helps somebody who may be struggling with the very same thing. It's a lot of people that have struggled with porn addiction. Comedian Chris Rock, comedian D.L. Hewley. It's a few other people, I believe, that suffer from like from porn addiction and stuff like that. It's definitely a real thing. So I mean, I really do hope that this information is able to help, whoever's listening, you know what I'm saying, with this. But, like, I mean, as today, like I said, I don't watch it as much as I used to. Still like to watch it. I'm human, you know what I'm saying? I'm a guy, for that matter, heterosexual male. You know what I mean? Love women with a passion. So you can appreciate the female anatomy. But, like, it definitely moving in a better direction as far as, like, how to go about engaging, making sure it's not about my it's running from anything, but more so just I guess the pleasure, in a sense. And that's really all I can think of about life with porn addiction.